everyone, it's Sweet Softies here, and I'm here with a little pattern review. I made the cute crochet bat pattern by KnottedFaux, and I have so many wonderful things to say about it. It's such a beautifully designed pattern, and as you can see, you can use it to create this furry little bat with two types of yarn textures, making it extra unique and special and cute. Now, this pattern review is going to include a few of the little adjustments I made. I'll talk about that briefly. And other than that, though, I followed the pattern to a T, and I just love how it turned out. This pattern is super, as I mentioned before, super well written. It has a lot of helpful pictures to go along the way, and it will help you with the bat making process. And if you're new to working with this furry yarn, I do have a tips video on how to work with it if you'd like to check it out in the description box below. And KnottedFaux also put in some great tips as well. So it's a super helpful pattern. I highly recommend it to anyone who wants to make this cute little bat. I also wanted to add that I am not affiliated with KnottedFaux in any way. I purchased her lovely little pattern. It's worth every penny, and I highly recommend you checking out her entire store because it has a lot of other cute projects. Thank you, and let's go ahead and jump into this review video. One change I made was use smaller eyes and also a smaller nose. The pattern called for 8mm eyes. I used 7mm, and it also called for a nose that was 10mm wide, and I used a nose that's 9mm. So it's just slightly smaller. And with the lighter colored bat, I decided to go ahead and use the black eyes instead of any colored eyes because if I were to make a black bat, I think using colored eyes would help the eyes stand out a lot better. But with the light colored yarn, you can see the eyes just fine. I also used a 3.25mm hook instead of the 3.5mm hook that was called for. One last change I did had to do with the wings here. So with the wings, the instruction was to crochet around, and it would make two identical wings. I made two identical wings except with the edging part. So where the instruction was to crochet around in one direction, I crocheted around in the opposite direction so that the right side of the edging would be up on top for both of my wings. So for instance, if I had crocheted in the same direction for both of these wings, I would have two that one would have the wrong side of the edging stitches up. So I just wanted to change it up this way so that I could have the right stitches up for both sides. For sewing the head on, I'm going to need to yarn this furry and very bulky yarn into a small yarn needle. And for tools that would be useful for this would be Clover's little darning needle here. I really love it for working with bulky yarns because I can easily just yarn it through the eye, because look how clever it is. It has a little open eye that you can just open up and stick your yarn in and close it. So let me just hook it in here and close it up. Because of that, I don't need to worry about threading this tiny, tiny hole. And it's often a very frustrating process with furry yarn. So I find this darning needle to be super helpful. And I'll link it in the description box below if you'd like to check it out too. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and sew the head on. First, I like to pull a stitch through, get it in the back and ready. Position where I want it to go. All right, so now I have finished my little bat. As you can see, the head is now sewn onto the body, and it's so nice to have this furry yarn sewn together because the sewing is pretty much seamless. You can't see any of the stitches that you've made with all the fur covering it. And I'm just adjusting his cute little ears so that they pop out more. And his fur, I think if you'd like to, you can go ahead and trim some of the hair near the eyes or brush it to the side to have the eyes show up a little better. And I made this version according to the pattern without any wire inside of the wings so that it can be fully playable for younger children. Of course, younger children would need to be careful and be supervised if you're giving them the bat with safety eyes, so not too young. But as you can see, the bat can be held and hugged, and it can even wrap itself up in a little hug too. All right, thank you so much for watching, and hope you enjoyed my little pattern review here. Be sure to check out my blog post to see the pictures of my work in progress and my notes on the adjustments I made to the pattern, super minor adjustments. And take a look at the listing linked below too, so that you can buy one and make one for yourself. Thank you so much, and hope you have a wonderful time crafting. Bye now.